Welcome to my album reviews for the week of March 4th. I've got 4 wonderful albums on the docket for you this week. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and of course like this video as well. Everything helps. And if you're looking for more great music, head over to dustyorgan.com. Every single day I'm posting there. There's so much music all the time. And if you want to be a bigger supporter of the website, check out my Patreon, patreon.com/dustyorgan. For only $4 a month, you have access to an album release schedule, concert galleries, merch discounts, and just so much more. And it's so inexpensive and it means a lot to me. So go check it out, patreon.com/dustyorgan. And if there's any upcoming albums that you would like me to check out and review, let me know in the comments, DM me. I want to hear from you guys as well. So let's get into these reviews. So if there's one word to describe Band of Horses, it's melancholic. Doesn't matter the chord progression, major, minor, whatever. There seems to be this air of uneasiness and worry with all of their music. And that's probably due to frontman Ben Bridwell's very iconic, haunting vocal style. And the band has gone through a number of lineup changes over the years since their 2006 debut. But on this record, despite the fact that it's pretty much a whole new cast other than Ben, this album really feels like one of their original albums. Now onto their 6th album, Things Are Great. The band have returned to their sound in the most purest form, which is the good news, especially if you're a longtime fan. But the title itself, Things Are Great, is a bit of a misnomer, or at least a sarcastic one at that. Because based on the song content, things are not great. Not bad, just not great. There's songs about medical scares, complicated relationships, and just the overall state of the world, come into shape with their Seattle grazed alt folk rock style. While there weren't any moments of life-changing magnitude on this record, which is a bit of a hard comparison to make considering their debut album had the song The Funeral on it, there still is a familiarity that Band of Horses fans will genuinely enjoy on this record, courtesy of Bridwell's vocals and the lamenting folk rock style. Overall, I'm going to give this one a 7.5 out of 10. It's been over 8 years since we last heard from Belgian pop artist Stromae, but the king of European pop is back with an energizing 12-track release called Multitude. Despite the fact that I'm not fluent in French by any means, I can still get a sense of Stromae's stoic and playful articulation with his words, which upon checking the translations boast plenty of meaningful messages, both deeply personal to Stromae and of course rich with narrative. And his vulnerability and candidness on this record is what makes it so strong, along with the fact that he is just one of the most humble pop stars in the world, and his style just dominates both rhythmically, production-wise, songwriting, just everything. And for Multitude, it's full of worldly instrumentation, compassionate lyrics, and of course, just his mystifying Belgian aesthetic. And of course, his narrative style just feels universally understood and appreciated. And in regards to it being a pop album, Multitude doesn't quite hit as much as his previous records do. However, there are some stellar moments both in production and performance that give Multitude plenty of replay value. And personally, I'm just happy to have Stromae back. I'm going to give this one an 8.5. Vancouver pals Peach Pit are now on to their 3rd album from 2 to 3. It's hands down their most highly anticipated record. These guys have really started to launch into some more prominent stardom, but yet the indie 4-piece have kept things pretty simple on this one. Their sun-kissed, slacker rock style playfully goes through on these 11 tracks without veering into any sort of direction. Crisp vocals, laid-back melodies, and a youthful sense of insecure optimism are very defining characteristics of this album. And while they make for an enjoyable listening experience, Peach Pit kind of fail to provide anything substantial or worth writing home about on this one. There are plenty of tracks to add to any indie summer playlist, but beyond that, I felt like this album wasn't really making much of a statement, and it's probably not going to end up on any end-of-the-year lists, outside of your university crushes Spotify Wrapped. For that, I'm going to give this one a 6 out of 10. Toronto multi-instrumentalist and producer Luna Lee has put out her debut album, Duality. The stunning 13-track release is filled to the brim with her very own psychedelic and lush songwriting style, moving through topics of identity and passion, led of course by her dreamy vocals and crisp instrumentation. One of the most compelling aspects of this record is its commanding contrast between ethereal soothingness and this dense, full-figured instrumentation. Duality packs a punch with it, while also resting your head against a pillow. It's a wonderful juxtaposition. As well, the few features on this record, including Dreamer, Izioma, Biba Doobie, and Jay Som, add to the overall appeal and lushness of the record. While she's been able to establish a loyal following online over the last year or two, I think this new record, Duality, is going to find her even more. This is a wonderful album. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. And of course, there are more albums that you should definitely have on your radar this week. Multi-instrumentalist Nilüfer Yanya, her new album Painless, Ottawa-based artist The Weather Station, her new album How Is It That I Should Look at the Stars, and New York collective Michelle have put out their sophomore album After Dinner We Talk Dreams. And lastly, for some more niche music fans, check out L1011. They're this wonderful instrumental rock duo. They just put out their new album New Year's Eve. It's a wonderfully dense 6-track album, definitely worth the listen. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found some great new music for you to enjoy this week. And don't forget to head over to my Patreon, patreon.com/DustyOrgan, as well as my store at dustyorgan.bigcartel.com. I have plenty of t-shirts to sell over there, so go get one of yours before they run out. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and follow me on all my socials. All of that, everything I've just said, is all in the description. So I'll see you guys next week.